Head ass. Jarvis Neal, welcome. This is episode 2 of Antisocial Commentary. Glad to have you on. Jarvis Neal, formerly, how you say the Marseillan? Marseillan Dragons. NFL, is it Europa or just Europe?
It's just Europe.
I could have sworn it was Europa. Played college football in Mizzou for, you said 2 years.
2 years.
Why you didn't go all 4?
Man, me and this coach, we just kind of, we didn't really see eye to eye with the way things was being ran. I felt like I should have had, more playing time and stuff like that. I feel like I was better than the guy ahead of me.
And I feel like every football player feels that way.
So I just feel like I could, do better somewhere else.
I kind of want to start there. So start in college, so you did your freshman and sophomore year. Were you redshirt?
Yeah, my freshman year, I redshirted. I ain't like that. That was the biggest thing that I had an issue with. I used to talk to my mom all the time. I was hot. But yeah, I redshirted, and then my sophomore year, I came back and I was a redshirt freshman. And then that was my year that I was there. I had a little playing time and everything like that, but I ain't like it. I ain't like it too much. I felt like I was better than a lot of the guys ahead of me, even though they were upperclassmen.
I mean, you went to Mizzou, so we can find out their names real easy. Who you think you better than?
You're right. You probably know if you want.
So, what made you go to Mizzou? Because you from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You played high school at
Atascocita.
We actually had a conversation about a mutual person that we knew that played, who's now currently in prison. He ended up going where I went to college.
Right.
Small world. But so what made you want to go all the way to Mizzou?
My goal, man, to be honest, was really I wanted to. Of course, I was gonna play high school ball in Houston, but I wanted to go out of the state to play in a college and then come back and hopefully play for maybe the Cowboys or the Texans or something like that. That was always my goal. But when I was in high school, man, I didn't have just a whole lot of offers. Now I was on ESPN, and everything like that. I was on Rivalscout.com, but I wasn't one of those guys that just had 20 offers, 25 offers, really, because I was undersized.
I'm glad you brought that up because you are 5'8". I wanted your ESPN picture. I wanted to, if you do a quick Google search of your name, would you like to explain why, if I could find the picture, why your picture looks like a mugshot?
I can explain, bro.
What happened?
I can explain. It was that day we were at Rice. Okay. Rice University for football university camp.
Okay.
And that was a training camp for about, if I'm not mistaken, it was a weekend. Okay. So it was me and about 6 other guys from my team that got invited.
Okay.
And we had to be there from 6 to 9 or something like that, 6 to 10. And that's really what it was. Then I was growing my hair out at the time. I had a little fro, so.
I'm trying to find the picture.
Yeah, that's really what it was, man.
And hold on. They got you listed at 5'6", 194.
Yeah. Yeah.
They ain't got the picture on here no more?
No.
It said they ain't got your school listed as UTEP.
Yeah.
What happened there?
UTEP was one of them things where UTEP was recruiting at our school heavy. Okay. They had one of our linemen. He committed there, but then he ended up decommitting going to Fresno State. Okay. And when I ended up going to one of their camps, I kind of caught the attention of one of the guys. I liked the vibe from the coaches, the team, and everything like that. And it just went from there.
I can't find the picture. I saw it earlier. I can't find it. But I was like, did you get in trouble in college?
Oh, no.
I mean, let's do talk about college. I went to Texas Tech, so I don't know what it's like in Mizzou. I did actually want to go to Mizzou because I did grow up in St. Louis. Okay. So I wanted to go to Mizzou at one point in my life. But my school was lit.
Right.
So you tell me as a football player, what was the party? I mean, if you don't want to go into detail, I understand.
Yeah.
But what was the party lifestyle like as a football player at Mizzou?
I mean, it was really wasn't to the extent of what you would see on like Varsity Blues or Blue Mountain State or nothing like that.
Blue Mountain State.
It wasn't. It's not to that extent, but it do get wild, bro. Cause now we wasn't a HBCU, so you're not gonna see a whole bunch of Greeks moving around and nothing like that. We ain't had no probates and nothing like that.
Really?
Yeah, we ain't had no probates and nothing like that. It was more so about the football, really. The school was surrounded around football.
I mean,
that's what
it was. I mean, the closest city you got is St. Louis and Kansas City.
I've never been to neither one.
You never went to St. Louis?
I've never been to neither one.
It's rough.
I got people from there, but never been to neither one.
It's rough out there. I mean, it's not. St. Louis really ain't got much as far as like attractions outside like the arch and then the food, but it gets rough out there. At one point, it was one of the highest in the country in the murder rate. It might still be.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, it's matter of fact, we went up there Christmas 2016, and we went to my aunt's house, and she lived literally maybe like 5 minutes from where they shot Michael Brown.
Okay.
So she said that like during like when they were doing the riots and stuff, that you could hear like the police sirens and the explosions and stuff.
Right.
So St. Louis is like it's like have you ever been to New Orleans?
No.
You never been to New Orleans?
No. I always go to Lafayette.
I mean, Louisiana as a state is pretty lawless. I mean, because they laws is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I think I could be wrong. Is Louisiana a Commonwealth state? I think it's like a I can't remember. So they set up their laws a little different. But I wish I could give you a good description of how like St. Louis is like as comparison. But the point is, let's go back to college, the college life. So you ain't had no wild parties, no craziness with no females, especially because you play football. Did y'all have groupies?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's another story. But yeah, we definitely did. Craziest party I could think of. I don't remember exactly what party it was. I don't even remember where we was at, but. I do know it was at one of our teammates' apartments. I remember that, and I just remember a TV getting thrown out the window. I remember people fighting. It was loud.
Were you drunk?
Nah, I don't even drink. Bro.
You don't drink?
Nah.
I mean, you gotta keep your. I mean, you a big dude,
right.
So you gotta keep your physique. So, like as far as diet and stuff go, you don't drink. You eat certain foods, drink certain things.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I do have, what I'm saying? I do slip up every now and then my diet. Popeye, that's my kryptonite.
I mean, that's every black man's kryptonite.
That's real. That's my kryptonite. That's
white women.
Yeah, that. Oh no, I'm scared of them too. Scared of them. But that's my kryptonite. That and candy. Like that's definitely my kryptonite. The Hershey's Jarvis chocolate, all that. M&M's, that's Jarvis right there.
Yeah, I wasn't big on sweets, and then I moved back from college, and for some reason I just got on sweets heavy. I don't know what it was.
Right.
Like I was more of like I like to snack, and don't get me wrong, I did like sweets, but I don't know. It just got on a whole nother level when I got back from college. I don't know what it is.
Nah, that's how it was, man. Like I do it all the time, man. Even now, before practice, before a game, like I eat like M&Ms or something. Like go to halftime, eat M&Ms.
But I mean, when you playing, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but it's like it can be good and it can be bad. You know what I'm saying? I haven't experienced the bad parts yet, but I don't just eat like a whole bag or nothing like that. I eat like a couple of them and then I'll be ready to go.
So as far as like, if you was saying like you was in game, like trying to have your in-game shape,
right.
Like what would be like a typical day of like what you would eat? Like chicken and rice and broccoli, or?
Well, I'll tell you. Well, now I'm kind of on the street diet now, just because of the teams that's interested in me right now. Because
you are training to go to not combines, but you're trying to go to tryouts.
Right. And
you tried out with last time I spoke, I think you said you tried out with the Colts.
Right.
So
I tried out with them. This was around Hurricane Harvey.
Okay.
It got postponed because of Hurricane Harvey, so it was 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And I actually ended up getting a trial with them just because of who the was the coach that we played last when I was in France.
Okay.
I ended up getting that trial because of him.
Okay.
And I appreciate him for that. But
what's coach name?
I honestly don't remember his first name.
Okay.
His last name was Singletary though.
I mean, but your coach Singletary,
Right.
not Mike Singletary.
Nah.
Okay.
I know if it was him.
Yeah.
Nah, but his last name was Singletary.
Yeah.
And basically, man, right now at this point, I'm kind of, it's really getting down to crunch time as far as what I'm gonna do as far as going overseas. Mm-hmm. If I'm gonna, skip overseas, which I don't see myself doing that. Mm-hmm. But it's really just about me making a decision. I do have quite a bit of teams, maybe like about 6 that I'm in talks with right now. It's just a matter of getting the contract finalized and me just getting on the plane and going. That's really what it is. But to answer your first question, when I was overseas, a regular day would be like, first of all, we 7 hours ahead from here. So, I get up, I would FaceTime my mom, like all the time. I get up in their time, I would get up about maybe 10, something like that.
10 a.m.?
Yeah.
So
we wouldn't have to be
3 here.
Basically.
Okay.
So we wouldn't have to be up that early, like super early and all like that. I'll FaceTime my mom, she'd get up, and we talk for about a good, maybe like 20, 30 minutes, something like that.
I know she hated that, waking up at 3.
Yeah, she set an alarm for it.
Yeah.
She set an alarm for it.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah, but I FaceTime her, we'll talk for a little minute, and then I get up, take a shower. I would eat. Normally. It would be sometimes we would have like omelets and stuff like that because we had a team restaurant, so it was down the street, and we would go there. We would eat, and we would eat like I guess you could say like the ham and cheese and the bacon type omelets, and then for lunch we would have like the like chicken breast and rice and broccoli and cabbage, stuff like that, and that's pretty much what it was. And then sometimes, not every day, but when we first got down there, we would have a lot of interviews. We would have a lot of, like, I don't want to call them press conferences, but something like that. We would have a lot of media days, like autograph signings and stuff like that. So we did a lot of different things of that nature, but it was just to the point to where, we were new. Yeah. We were new. The team that I went on, that was the first time that they had ever had Americans on that team. But they've been playing since the 01, if I'm not mistaken. And it was me and another guy from Virginia. So it was both of us. We we kind of that's like my brother now. He good people. Shout out to Deshaun. But that's my boy now. But yeah. That's basically how it was, man. That's a typical day. We'd have practice on, we would go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Tuesday, Thursday, we would have weights at the time that we would go to practice. But we pretty much had practice every day, though. And,
Are the practices, like, as intense as they are here? Like, as far as, like, college practice compared to the NFL in Europe?
Nah. It's not intense. I'm not gonna call it not intense. It's just not nearly as intense as it is here in the States. Because at the same time, when you're overseas, we had to understand quickly that they don't know everything.
Because football's not as big over there.
Right. So they don't. It's growing, but they still don't know everything. Right. So we were in charge of playing on top of coaching. So we might have to do a couple reps here and there, then come back and teach how to do it, and then just kind of sit back and make sure that they're doing it right, which cuts down on our reps. Right. So we have to find a way to get our own reps in some kind of way.
So and I think it's like a misconception that a lot of the people that go to NFL Europe aren't elite level talent. A lot of the people that are there, they may have made a mistake in college. They may have just went to the wrong college and didn't get the right looks. Right. They are NFL level talent. Right. They haven't made it to that next step. Right. So as far as where you going, you said you trying out for the Colts. Who else you say you trying out with?
That was it. as far as in the States.
Right.
That was it. Oh, no, I lied. I had 2 workouts from the arena team.
Okay.
And then that was it. And then everything else just been overseas.
Okay. So, do you think going to the NFL is a realistic goal?
Yeah, I mean, but I've came to the point to where, you know, if I was to have to finish my career overseas, I wouldn't mind.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't mind at all.
So, do you think going overseas is like for people like say you go to college, you go all 4 years, graduate, you may go to the combine. Did you go to the combine?
No.
You may go to the combine. You may get a pro day.
Mm-hmm.
You go undrafted. You might go to a practice squad or something.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it's a bad look to go to the NFL to NFL Europe versus being on a practice squad, getting cut from the practice squad, then going back home?
I think it really just kind of depends on your situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you did something in either situation, whether you was overseas and you did something because they quick to send you back home,
right? Because
it's nice. It's you
messing with somebody's money.
Exactly,
yeah.
Money involved, and then it's not like the NFL where everybody's getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
On most teams, the 2 imports, and they call them imports if you're not from wherever you playing at.
Okay.
So the 2 imports, or the 3 or 4, because you can only have you can't have no more than 4 in Europe. So if you
let's break that down. So, when you're playing in Europe, only 4 of the people there can be not from Europe.
Right. I mean, they can be from Europe. They just can't be from like Germany.
Okay, so because you played in France, so
right.
The person has to be from France.
Exactly.
So you were one of 4 people that came from all around the world to play for that particular squad.
1 or 2, because it was me and just another guy from Virginia. The rest of them, they were from France.
So they don't speak any English or nothing like that?
Exactly. Well, 3 of them did. That was our translator.
Okay, so that's what you meant by you had to explain to them how to play.
Exactly.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. I thought everybody that played for NFL Europe were former people from the U.S. They just sent them over there.
Well, see, their teams are like homegrown teams.
Right.
So like just like a semi-pro team here, how they would build up a team.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's professional, but at the same time, the people that they're imported by, like not imported by, but the imports that are coming to play from America, or they coming from wherever they're coming from, those are the only guys on the team getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, they take it serious.
Yeah.
So whatever you put in your contract, that's why I was saying it's not like the NFL, because the NFL everybody get paid.
Right.
Certain teams, I mean, it's some teams out there that get paid, but on my team, it was just me and the other guy getting paid.
Because you're not from there.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So, the money's good, but at the same time, you really have to do what you have to do to stay out there. Even go over and beyond to stay out there, because if not, they're very quick to send you home. And if they see you home, I mean, because of that, it's not a good look for you. Because once you sign overseas, everybody knows about it. They have it's kind of like their ESPN, I guess you could say. It's called Touchdown Europe. Okay. And basically, once you sign, Touchdown Europe blasts it everywhere. So even if you never meet some of these people, everybody pretty much in that region of Europe at least knows about it. So if you end up going home, they might put an article about why you went home, and if it's not a good article, it's not that good of, you're not gonna have that. It's not gonna look too good for you going back overseas, basically.
Yeah. So I mean, so you think it, like when you say that you get sent back home, like for disciplinary issues or for like?
It could be anything. Like I've seen situations where the team felt like the import that they brought over wasn't playing to their standards. So he wasn't producing. Some other guys had off the field issues, stuff like that. So it really just has to. You really just got to be on the straight and narrow when you get out there. And you really got to show them, hey, I'm here, I'm about my business, and understand that it's a business trip and not just something you play around with. Because if you play around with it, they're gonna see you back home, and not only do they see you back home, they're gonna see you back home without the rest of your contract. Yeah. So that's just what it is.
So it's like the NFL, no guaranteed money.
Exactly.
Right. So I mean, is it easier to get in trouble out there? Do you think?
Yeah, because you stick out. You know what I'm saying? You definitely stick out. I could walk down the street, and I might have a couple people walk up to me and ask for a picture, ask for an autograph. Yeah. and it was a few times where we did go out. There's a few like parades and stuff like that we attended, and you just you stick out with your jersey on. So you definitely stick out. I'm not saying that we were to the extent of like a J.J. Watt or DeAndre Hopkins or nothing like that, but over there, you playing for their team, so that they kind of look at you like a celebrity almost.
Shit, you swole black with dreadlocks. You definitely sticking out in France.
Right.
Minus the fact you playing football.
Right.
So I guess my main point, or back to not my main question, but the question I had before, like if you think it's better to go out there versus going to a practice squad and getting cut and just waiting at home, is I feel like from based off what you said, because you do get paid, and I think from a prior conversation you said you get a per diem as well, so you're not paying for your housing, you're not paying for food, it's all money going in your pocket.
Right.
So as a single unmarried, you have no kids.
Right.
I mean, so that's money just in your pocket, hitting your savings.
Right.
Or you can spend it out there. I'm sure it's France, so they got Louis, Gucci, all that. Especially being a young black dude, you could go and travel the world versus being at home waiting on a call.
Right.
I mean, yeah, the money may not be as good as playing in the NFL or playing on the practice squad, but I mean, you can't beat that experience. Like,
can't beat it at all.
Like, you going to a whole nother country, you taking in a whole nother culture. Especially, I mean, I'm assuming there's black dudes on your squad.
Not very many. It was including me, the other dude that came from Virginia. It was 2 other ones that was from out there, so it was 4 total.
I mean, well, I'm seeing. A lot of black people don't realize that there's black people everywhere. So meeting a black dude with a French accent, or speaks French, that's not Haitian, probably fucked you up the first time.
Yeah, it did. That blew my mind, bro. Yeah. I was kind of used to it because my grandparents, they from Louisiana, and they speak fluent French.
Oh, okay.
But that's Louisiana.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Not everybody speak French.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just Louisiana. So when you actually talk about actual, France. So when you talk about when you talk about people from France, like this is stuff that I talked about, or not talked about, but learned about in like history class, stuff like that. Like we lived on the Mediterranean Sea was like our backyard. So like these are things that I've learned about in history class, world geography, and all that. Did projects on and stuff like that in school. And to actually be there and see it, it was just it was a great experience, bro. Like that's the best way I could put it.
I mean, clearly I'm hungry because I want to know about the food. Like I've already asked you about food once, but I want to know I've never actually had French food. I love to cook, I love to eat, but I've actually never had French food. It don't look good. Like people would be like, oh, this is escargot. Like nigga, that's snails. I don't want that. Or like I've had duck before, but like I've seen how they make the French food don't look good to me. So being over there, did you get to try any of the food, or I mean I'm sure they had a McDonald's, but or did you just stick to the team place?
Man, look, no disrespect to friends, no disrespect to none of my friends.
Make sure he talking to the camera.
I'm just telling you, no disrespect to none of my French people. I love y'all, all that. But the food is nasty, bro.
Food is nasty.
Like, real talk, the food is nasty, bro. Like, they do sell, snails and all that there. Like, I almost lost my mind when like, I'm walking, and as I'm walking, the seawall is this way. Okay. So, when I'm walking, I mean, not the seawall, just kind of like the strip, basically. How the Galveston has the strip. Yeah. So, the strip goes this way, and then once you go down the strip, you just hit the Mediterranean Sea. That's where the beach at and everything. So I'm walking down, and it's a corner store that we always used to go to, and it was this restaurant next to it that had just opened, and they were selling snail, and they had it like all on a plate as a sample.
Did you try it?
Man, nah, bro. Oh nah, bro. I couldn't do that. Nah, I couldn't, cause he brought it to me. He was like, he you know what I'm saying. He was like, you try. I was like, nah, I'm cool, bro. And nah, that's just food nasty, bro. And I mean, they got a McDonald's. McDonald's is actually, they give you more food. You'll pay what what's the word? You might pay what you'll pay here, but they give you more food. You know what I'm saying? So you may pay. So like for example, we have the 20 piece for $5.
Yeah.
They may give you a 25 piece for like maybe $6.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So I mean they give you good food. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't too much. McDonald's, I never always was just a fan of McDonald's like that. The main thing that I did was when I was out there was KFC. That's what we didn't eat it a whole lot, but to be honest, we spent at least $20 every time we went. Like we went maybe a total of 4 times the 6 months I was there.
I mean, I spend $20 on KFC now.
Man, I'm telling you, when you get more food there, like they may give you like a 10-piece wing and chicken strips for like $10 with a drink. You know what I'm saying?
So you get 10 wings and 10 strips for $10?
$10.
Or $10 a piece?
Nah, $10.
Oh, that's a deal.
That's it. That's what it was.
I'm moving to France.
It was the bucket, bro. I'm telling you, that's what it was. Me and Deshaun, though, man. We used to, sometimes we might go half on something, you know what I'm saying? And the reason we did that was because, I mean, that's a deal, but we never knew when we was coming back, because KFC was like, it was in the next town over, in this town called Brazil, France, and that's about like 35 minutes away from where we were. So, we never knew when we was coming back, so we had to make do.
So, I mean, does it taste the same? Like, does it taste like KFC in the US, or does it taste like
KFC?
Oh.
KFC did. McDonald's tasted off. That's just because, really, to be honest, all their food tasted off. Yeah. Just because
they don't use as much fat and salt as we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not processed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all their food is fresh. So some stuff you might pay $2-3 for, $4 or whatever. You may pay like $7 or $8 just because it's not processed. It's fresh. So.
And that's what they're doing. I mean, and you trying to right now, as far as like getting in shape. I mean, you look like you're in shape. I mean, we probably need to go hit up Fitness Connection after this, because I need to hit the gym. I'm trying to get like you when I get older. But as far as eating now, no problem. So like, do you have like a overall like goal right now? You like eating no red meat, no. You already said you don't drink. Right. You never drink. Like you avoiding like carbs or anything like that?
I have this this person that I go to, and she's like my meal prep type of person, because I honestly, I'm not the type of person that can just eat the same thing for a week straight. Like, I gotta switch it up. Like, I can do it for maybe 2, possibly 3 days, but after that I gotta switch it up. And that's just never been me, bro. Yeah. Like, my mama might cook gumbo. Like, my granny may cook gumbo. My auntie may cook gumbo, and like, I love that gumbo, but I mean, I may eat it for like 2 days, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Thanksgiving food.
Facts. I don't even like Thanksgiving food like that.
At all?
I mean, I eat it, but I eat it after the day after. But you gotta go.
You just got like a 1 to 2 day.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's crazy about Thanksgiving. We hype Thanksgiving. If Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Yeah. I mean, my birthday is always around Thanksgiving. Like, literally this year, my birthday was on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So, that's my favorite holiday. And I think about Thanksgiving all year. Like, damn, we gonna get to eat.
Yeah.
But day 3 of eating fucking turkey, mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, it's just like, and I'm eating it every form I've had. I'm done mixed it all up and made it like some type of casserole. I done had a sandwich out of it. Yeah. It just sucks. So I get where you're coming from when it says like dieting. The worst part about dieting, man, is it just gets monotonous. Like, have you ever dieted so long and eating the same thing that particular thing started like making you feel sick? Like,
like it's just like I think that's what ham did. Ham is just turkey too. Like, no disrespect to nobody Thanksgiving food I done had. Oh, no disrespect to nobody Thanksgiving food I done had. But bro, like, I think this past Thanksgiving, I don't know who house I was at, but I took I took the turkey home, and I was hungry, and I ain't want it, but I mean, I just went ahead and ate it because it was there. But I started choking on the turkey. You feel me? Like, bro, that choking ain't no good feeling. You feel me?
That's why I'm glad they came out with fried turkeys, because turkey just is dry. It's nothing you can really do. Yeah. I mean, actually, let me take that back. This is something you can do. Have you ever heard of Salt Lick Barbecue in Austin? Well, it's in it's not Austin. It's out right outside of Austin. It's what's the name of that city?
BK.
Huh?
Is it BK? That's outside of Austin.
Nah, it's Mia, what's the name of the city? Well, Salt Lick, they had this smoked turkey, bro. It's the best turkey I've ever had in any form. Fried, grilled, roasted.
Yeah.
Driftwood, yeah. Driftwood, Texas. That's the best turkey I've ever had in my entire life.
I have to taste it, bro, because I ain't no turkey fan like that.
You down for a road trip?
We could go.
What we look like on time? But yeah, because I mean, don't get me wrong, the barbecue is good. I'm big on barbecue. I love barbecue. This is my favorite type of food.
Yeah.
But that turkey, I mean, it wasn't. They brisket was cool. Their ribs was cool. I mean, it's white people making it, so you know, there's only so much you can go. That's one thing that white people may be able to have. They get close to us when it comes to cooking, because they don't. And barbecue is like you let the wood and the charcoal do all the work. But that turkey was the best turkey I've ever had in my entire life. And I don't want to boost it, but that was some good ass turkey. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, the barbecue is cool. But yeah, I'm down to go on a road trip. But I'm also down to go right down the street. You ever been to Burns?
Nah.
You ever been to Burns? Triple J's?
I heard about Triple J. I ain't been there though.
What's your barbecue spot?
I have?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Tin Roof, man. Like
Tin Roof, where's that?
That's in Humble. Hey man, shout out to Tin Roof. Man.
In Humble?
Yeah.
Is it brothers doing it?
Nah, it's white people, man. But I like these white people though. I think
they trustworthy white people?
Yeah, I like them, you feel me? I trust them at least. They basically, man, like you walk in, it's like a small little area where you order your food at, and it's a line and everything, and then you can see them putting your food on the plate and all that. And like once you pay, if you eat there, you can walk back out, and it opens up to this big area for you to eat. And then they got like the little play area for the kids outside and all that. But
you down to try that?
But it's good, bro. I'm telling you, bro. They ribs look like legs, bro, for real.
I mean, it's funny you say that, because we had a would you rather question. Yesterday actually. It was like, would you rather have your white friend make potato salad, and you got to take that potato salad to your next family function and pass it off as your own, or go to Sports Clips and get an edge up?
It depends. Where your white friend from?
He just he white like he mayonnaise white.
But where he from though? Like if he could be from, you know what I'm saying? If he from St. Louis, right?
Nah, he just a white white
dude.
He could be a white dude from Houston.
That's what I'm saying. Depends. If he from,
you saying he from the South, is gonna taste good?
Nah, he could be from the North, cause I'm from the North. If he say he from, say like, I don't know, Cashmere Gardens, Fifth Ward, Homestead.
Nah. He from Woodlands.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll probably go to Sports Clip.
I mean, that's easy for you to say. You got dreads.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I probably go to Sports Clip.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sports Clips too, cause I don't need nobody talking about some. That's how you ruin a whole life. Because people gonna remember that.
Oh yeah,
like
I remember that.
8 family reunions from now, they were like, "Hey, you remember family reunion 2018? When you brought that potato salad that had red peppers in it? Yeah, it was extra mayo in it. Yeah. You can't come to this function, brother. Like, don't think I forgot about that.
Yeah. I don't need that.
I actually think that having a show called Would You Rather would be like the funniest shit ever. So we'll talk about this because people like to steal ideas. But let's go back. Let's take a step back to football. And I did want to talk to you more about college days, as far as like like how crazy it got.
Mm-hmm.
You said they did have groupies.
Yeah, that was different.
Well, you have a crazy groupie story.
I got one that I can think of. I mean, really, what was going on was we was cool. You know what I'm saying? Me and her was cool.
You and the groupie was cool.
Yeah, we was cool.
You was cool.
You know what I'm saying? We was definitely was cool. She was from St. Louis as well.
Oh shit.
But she was cool, man. She was mixed. I think she was. I ain't gonna throw a name out there, but
yeah.
She was mixed. She was black and Hispanic.
Okay.
And she was real cool. And you know, I ain't really like her like that.
Of course not.
She was
a groupie.
Right. I ain't like her like that, man. But she ain't come off as a groupie at first.
Okay.
But, you know, I ain't like her like that. She was cool, man. And, you know, she was cooking and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if I gave her the wrong type of vibe, but, you know, I spent the night at her house.
Yeah, you get the wrong vibe.
You know.
You ain't supposed to stay at her house?
I mean, I was tired, bro. You know, but
nah.
I mean, you know, then she had cooked that same night, but I spent the night, and this had been going on. That's why I didn't think I gave her no bad vibe, because we, you know, I stayed at the house. You know, she ain't never come to mine, but I would go over there. She would cook. She even washed my clothes before. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't think nothing of it. You know, and this had been going on for like half the semester. So and she ain't say nothing. Then all of a sudden, like, you know, she had like a one day I didn't go over there for like maybe a week or two, something like that, just cause I was tired. Like I was busy with school for a while and all that, so I didn't go over there for like a week or two. And like one day she just popped up and was like, "Hey, you know, here's a key," and she gave me a key.
No.
So I was, you know, at the time I'm 19, so I wasn't tripping. I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, all right, bet.
That was your girlfriend. You didn't even know it.
But I just looked at it as you know, not a lick, but you know, now I got somewhere to lay my head. Now I ain't gotta wait for her to, you know, and
a place you could easily keep going.
So I just, you know, so I went over there and I, you know, went to the restroom and I didn't mean to look around a little bit, but she had like what's the word, like a. You ever seen Hey Arnold where Helga had the whole...
Oh, she had a shrine.
A shrine.
Oh,
exactly.
Hell no.
She had like a little shrine of me, and it was like, you know, it was a football picture. It was a picture. I was in high school football picture. It was just random pictures of me. It was a picture of me and her took. She had it right there. I ain't even had a picture. And I was like, you know, what is it? And then, you know, I got up out of there, you feel me? I had to get up out of there.
What you do is, if she acting crazy like that, she gave you the key, so you unlock the door.
Yeah.
Have your homeboys, call your homeboys and be like, hey, yo, come rob me right quick.
Yeah.
So have them rob y'all.
Yeah.
And make sure you tell them all the stuff that you wanted out of her house.
Yeah. So
when they done robbing y'all, you tell her, like, yeah, you bad luck. I can't be around you like that. And then, and then you're like, damn, you done got me robbed. Or you can even blame her and be like, oh, you set me up.
Yeah, I could.
So that's how you get out of that situation.
I could have did that. I wasn't that grimy though, but I could have did that. You feel me? But nah, man, she just, you know, I left the key under the mat, and then she was like, why you leave the key?
Bitch, you had a shrine of me.
You feel me? I just ain't reply. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know, she came by my apartment. She came by. We chopped it up, but it was just like she became like stalkish after that.
You let her in your house?
Nah, we was outside in the parking lot, and she
Jesus
just became stalkish after that, bro. But after that, man, it was, you know, I started talking to her friends, so it was cool.
Nah, you talked to her. I gotta give you props on that one. But were you missing any locks? Was one of your locks missing? Cause she probably took it.
See, I ain't had dreads at the time. I had braids.
God, thank God.
I had braids.
It could have been all bad.
But yeah, her friend did braids, so it was cool. She ain't do no hair, so that's what she was like.
So we don't gotta talk about running through these chicks in college, but it was
right.
As a football player, was it significantly easier?
Yeah.
Do you think?
But yeah, it was because, you know, you gotta think, bro. Football players, we didn't go for, like, when you first get to college, it's overwhelming. At least it was for me. It's overwhelming, and even on a visit, you know, it's overwhelming, and then you know, you run through what you hit what you hit, you know, you do your thing, and after
wrap it up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And after that first, you know, year, you know what I'm saying, you kind of get used to it, and then it's like, you know, you don't want to just, hit anything moving now. Now you trying to, go mess with the ones that ain't talking as much, that ain't out there as much, and that's when it gets harder.
We had a homegirl. We had a mutual friend. That she said that one time she was at I can't remember, it was at a party, it was at the library, it doesn't matter where it was. Football player had came up to her and tried to like spit to her, and she was like, she wasn't trying to talk to him. So this nigga was like, "Oh, you ain't gonna talk to me? Don't you know I play for the football team?" So did you ever get like that sense of entitlement as far as?
Nah, man, cause I've always been humble. I always been humble. My mama always taught me, to be humble, man. And cause no matter how much success you have in your life, like you can make yourself look ugly and unattractive by the way you carry yourself. So if I just go around, thinking, what I'm saying, I'm just all that, like that just ain't. I wouldn't even feel right doing that. So for female, deny me, I would take that as if it's somebody I really want to talk to, I would take that as a challenge. So let me keep trying to shoot at her.
You keep shooting till you make it.
Exactly. And if I don't make it, then it is what it is.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
If I learned anything from growing up, they say once you don't succeed, you try again.
Exactly.
You gotta swing through the curve. Exactly. I played baseball growing up, and so the curve ball was the hardest ball to hit. But once you hit that curve, it was leaving the stadium.
Right.
So swing through the curve.
That's what I was.
Keep going.
That's exactly what I was.
Put up them buckets.
Thanks.
But not you don't want to harass nobody.
Oh no.
If it's like a soft no, like no, you crazy. Yeah. You in the door.
Yeah.
But if it's like a no, like the fuck out of my life, no. Yeah. Like I'm calling the cops on you. You need to. That shot's never going in.
Yeah, you take the L. Keep moving.
I've seen the impossible done though. As far as people like actually swinging and actually hitting the curve.
Right.
So, but back on to like having the girls coming towards you.
Right.
Did you feel like a significant drop off? Because you said you played your first 2 years and then got into it with the coach or whatever.
Right.
And you stopped playing. Did you stop going to school?
You talking about whenever I came home?
Like, did you stop going to Mizzou once you stopped playing football?
Yeah. Like, I moved back.
They snatched your scholarship? Because my question was going to be, did you see like a significant drop in like the attention that you got?
Nah. It was just one of the things, like, once we came off from the Christmas break, I didn't go back. And
you just, no call, no show?
Nah, we already talked about it. They knew what time it was. And I had packed up my stuff and left. And they had snatched my scholarship before I left. So by the beginning of 13, I was gone.
So on that note of like the scholarship, so how do you feel about college athletes? Should you think they should get paid? As far as
I think so, just because of they not the average student. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I understand. The average student, like, they need the refund checks and stuff like that, financial aid and all that. I understand that, and I understand football players, they get that on top of a scholarship.
Right.
So I understand that, but at the same time, in my opinion, I may be biased, maybe not, but I'm also a realist. Like, football players aren't your typical students. They aren't your regular students. They're also doing more on top of what the regular student is doing. Like, the regular student, they go to class, and I'm not knocking, saying that they maybe not be in no groups or anything like that, but they go to class, and on top of going to class, they go to practice. We gotta wake up at 5 a.m. and 4 a.m. in some cases. Then not only that, you practice. If we do wake up at 5, you will practice till like 7:30. Then you go to class. You in class all day. Then you gotta come back, and then you practice in the evening. Like, that takes a toll. You know what I'm saying? That definitely takes a toll on your body to have to get up that early, and then your sleep patterns be all messed up, and so the days you don't have practice, you be out of whack. At least I was, and that's typically how it goes. And the football players, be looking like zombies. You know what I'm saying? Almost just walking around campus because of what they've had to go through. This, from the morning time to the evening time, and then you gotta wake up and do it all over again. Then you may have study hall and all freshmen coming in. All freshmen, if your grade point average wasn't a certain like if you didn't have a certain grade point average coming out of high school, you had to go to study hall.
Yeah.
Like that was mandatory. You had to go to study hall, and pretty much most freshmen were in study hall. And sophomores, same thing. If you didn't have, really, everybody was the same way. If you didn't have a certain grade point average, like the previous semester, you had to go to study hall. That's just what it was. And that's kind of what we all had to do. It was mandatory. So just think about you getting up at 5, and then you got a full day, and then right after you finish with study hall, you gotta come back and do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So wake back up at 5. So you really don't have a day to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You might have a few hours to yourself, and then that's it. You're right back at it. So yeah, and in that sense, I really do feel like players should get paid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. Personally, I don't think that college athletes should get paid like they should get like a check for being an athlete.
Right.
But I also don't think they shouldn't get anything. Like I think it's messed up that they can't use their own likeness to get paid.
Right.
I mean, like you should be able to go to like, do you hear about the old boy that lost his scholarship because he had a YouTube page?
Nah, I ain't hear.
Yeah, he had a YouTube page. I can't remember his name or what school he went to, but he had a YouTube page, and he was getting money from it.
He was a bright cat, right?
I don't
kind of had curly hair a little bit.
I want to say, I think, but
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he lost his scholarship because he was getting paid from YouTube, which is messed up because all he was doing was something that a regular college student would do.
Right.
And that's one thing that colleges always like to harp on is like, oh yeah, he's an athlete, but he's also a student. Yeah. Well, how come I'm being treated differently? Yeah. Like, you can't have both sides of the coin. Right. But as far as getting paid just to be there, like, you do get paid. Technically, you get a place to stay, get a free education, right. And you get make sure your food is good, you get clothing and stuff like that. Right. But this is where I don't see where the athletes is coming from as far as they're like, oh yeah, I'm like a zombie. Because as a person that paid for school and is going to be paying for school for the rest of my life damn near because of them student loans, yeah. I feel like, and I had a full-time job. So, yeah, everything, I'm not putting my body on the line, but the same time that athletes are doing for practice is the same time that I'm at a job. Yeah. And I had a stressful job too. My job, I was answering phones for Comcast. So nobody liked Comcast. So all we was getting was people pissed off. Yeah. So as far as athletes go, and particularly football, I can't name any college major, any major, that where when you graduate, if you the best person in that field, you will be making millions of dollars. As far as college football players, if you're the best person coming out in the country, you instantly can go make millions of dollars that first year out of college. If you suck, you might not make it past the first 2 or 3. Yeah. But you gonna make them a couple $1 million. Yeah. So I feel like as far as athletes go, that them 4, most of them 3, for basketball 1. You invest in, it's like a 4-year internship in my opinion. I think it's messed up. The NCAA is basically profiting off of they're profiting off of our athletes, basically. Like, y'all won't give you, most colleges is like anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000. We're gonna give you $40,000 a year. Meanwhile, offer somebody like who was big in college? Lamar Jackson. Someone like Lamar Jackson. They making millions off of him right now. Because his jersey probably selling, his memorabilia probably selling. Oh boy, Heisman.
I know you're talking about.
I'm just having a severe brain fart right now. Baker Mayfield. I fucking hate him. He went to Tech, left and went to OU. Fucking bitch. So they're making millions off of him, which off of his likeness, not off of his skill. Yeah, off of just his name. So I feel like that's some of the money that he should get because that's his name. Now, if the NCAA just sold jerseys, with no name on it, no like random numbers, then I would be like, nah, they don't need no money. That's OU is making that, is bringing that money in.
Yeah.
But if you sell a jersey and it says Mayfield on the back of it, someone bought that because it says Baker Mayfield, so he should get a cut of that.
Right.
But at the same time, you getting a 4-year internship.
Yeah.
Now, and to be able, if you are going to go to the next level, you're gonna make a couple $1 million. And even if you don't go to the next level, you did just get a free education that you're not going to have to pay back. Mm-hmm. Somebody like me, that I didn't even graduate and I'm having to pay that college back. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not going to have the opportunity to get to the same level as a college athlete would be. So they are starting off after college with an advantage on a regular student as far as someone that didn't pay for their school. Right. Like, I mean, of course you got these kids whose parents is paying out of pocket for their school. Right. But like I'm talking about like I think like that's the argument that gets missed when people talk about should athletes get paid, because they see that they're bringing money in and it's like, oh yeah, they should get that money, but it's not fair to the kids that are having to pay the school, having to pay for these athletes to come to their school, because that's where scholarships come from. They come from the people that are actually paying to go to the school, and meanwhile those regular kids who had to get loans, that had to get grants, them loans you're gonna have to pay back.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's like I get the argument, like yeah, they bring in a lot of money, and you know, but the one thing I don't get is like, oh, these kids ain't got nothing to eat and they playing for the team, for the school. Yeah. Like nigga, it's college, nobody eating. We all eating ramen noodles and fucking Easy Mac. Like in college, you're gonna be broke. Now here's the thing. Here's the messed up thing that a lot of people, I don't know if anybody's ever thought about, but why is it that the two sports that are predominantly African American, why are we having to be the ones that have to go to school? Basketball, we have to go to school before you go to NBA. Yeah. Or now you don't have to go to school, but you have to wait. Mm-hmm. There's a wait time. NFL, you have to wait 3 after high school to go to the pros?
It's like, yeah, basically. Like you could do a red shirt and win, but it's 3 basically.
I mean, and there's no rule against going to for basketball at least, going overseas and getting your money there. There's no rule against it. That's what that's why I respect what the balls are doing right now. It's like, all right, well, we're not feeding into this system. We're gonna go overseas, get paid the ball. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I respect that aspect, and I feel like a lot more of us should do that instead of complaining about why we're not getting paid in the NCAA. Right. Like, all right, well, don't go to the NCAA, don't go to a school, and then go to Lithuania, go to Germany, go to Japan, go to China. That's what they're giving you money to hoop. Exactly. So, at the same time, I get that you want to go to for you. I don't know how long it's been for you to be your dream to probably go play for the NFL. Mm-hmm. So your dream is to go to the NBA, go to the NFL. So the only way you're gonna be able to go is to go to the NCAA. Right. And I would never say that that you should not get an education, especially a young African American male coming from impoverished area. You should go to school and you should finish. Sure. But at the same time, I do have to question, why is it that if I played baseball, I could just leave high school and go to the pros? If I played golf, I could leave high school and go to the pros. If I played tennis, if I played lacrosse, you know what I'm saying? What are the rules against that? But why is it that the sports, hockey is another one, why is the sports that are predominantly African American, football, basketball, why we gotta have a wait list? Do you feel like there's a conspiracy behind that, or?
I feel like I ain't never really think about it like that, but I definitely do think it is something going on behind the scenes with that. Because out of nowhere, like even the whole NCAA thing, you know, you can even go back to the video game. I can't remember which one it was, but it was. I know on PS4 you had a update where all you had to do was update your roster and it would actually have their last names. Now you can't. The one thing I did know is once they stopped that and then they ended up cutting NCAA off because they was
exactly screwing them kids over.
Right, you gonna have to pay for that. So at the end of the day, I just feel like I don't know. I ain't never think about it like that, but yeah, I definitely.
It is something to think about.
I for sure think there's something going on behind the scenes with that. I can't pinpoint it, but yeah, I definitely do think that. But
yeah,
because another thing is, man, I'm not. I'm like I would say I'm an example of not taking the traditional route. You know what I'm saying? Because I went to college, but I didn't finish. You know what I'm saying? I didn't finish school. I didn't play all 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So, but I did, play, have a little time in there. But at the end of the day, I ended up coming home, and I had to figure out a way. If I was gonna still play football, I had to figure out a way to get to where I wanted to be. So, the ultimate goal is the NFL. True enough, but I'm not so concerned with the NFL that I just miss out on another blessing. You see what I'm saying? So if I get a chance to go to Germany, I'm not going to sit back and wait till, I might wait a little bit, but at the same time, Germany is a blessing. I could go to Germany, and then this team that was waiting so long to, hit me up or give me a contract, they may give me a contract once they see what I done did in Germany. So it's just it's just one of them things where it's like, you really just, you got to know what you want to do and do it. Find different avenues and do it. You can find different people. See, me, I didn't have somebody there telling me, hey, go this route. I always had people that was there that played the 4 or 5 years in college, and they went to the league, or, and I had people like that in my ear. But I didn't have people that was kind of walking in the same shoes as me. I didn't have people that was like, hey, well, this is what I did. Because when I came home, I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even want to talk to nobody because I felt like I'm supposed to be.
You was mad at the world.
Exactly. I was hot. So, eventually, I talked to my mom, and she was like, well, if this is what you want to do, I'm all for it with you, And then once she
Shout
told
out to your mama, man. You got a good mama.
Right.
Yeah.
And once she told me that gave me the green light to do something, So at the end of the day, that I started looking at different leagues around Houston. So that's when I started in semi-pro. I started playing in semi-pro, and I played like 2.5 years, and then that's when I ended up getting signed. So once I did that, I just did that to show, for one, because I wanted to do it. That's my passion. But I also did that to show my friends and family that you don't necessarily have to take the traditional route to get to where you want to be. Everybody has their own story to tell. I got mine, and I can't tell you how many people that I've talked to that have thanked me for doing what I did and doing what I'm still doing. Going overseas, putting it out there, because overseas wasn't very popular like that. It's starting to grow now, but for football wise, it wasn't that popular. So a lot of guys that I knew that played in high school but didn't get that opportunity to play in college. Some of those guys may be looking at going overseas. And some of those guys, I just like the fact that I opened the door for new opportunities to get to where you trying to be ultimately. You know what I'm saying? And I just, so I really take pride in that. Just kind of, I guess, being not the pioneer, but somebody to, shine light back on this area. Like, hey, you can still do this just because you didn't go to a 4-year university, just because you didn't get a chance to go to college. Maybe, try out for one of these teams and, get your film and get up out of here. That's just.
And I feel like there's a big part of that you also are leaving out is the fact that you staying focused on what you want to do.
Exactly.
You're not getting in trouble.
Exactly.
You have no criminal record from my understanding, right? You're not flipping no drugs.
Right.
You're not drinking. You eating right. It's minus the candy.
Right.
So a lot of people don't understand that if you're not gonna go the traditional route, that's fine. But you gotta outwork the person that is going the traditional route. Because while they're getting everything handed to them as far as they're getting looks, they're getting food.
Right.
Your cousin was telling me that when she was dancing, that they would give them the football team would get protein shakes and they had a nutritionist and stuff like that. So that's stuff that you're not gonna get on your own. So you gotta look up what to eat, how to eat, what you should be taking in. You gotta get up early and go hit the gym. So I feel like you're a good testament on if you're not gonna go this way and you want to go the way you went, you got to be able to outthink, outwork. You got to be able to stay on one thing at a time. Like your goal is to make it to the league.
Right.
Now that means you got to go semi-pro, go to NFL Europe. That means you got to go on 1,000 tryouts.
Right.
I mean, you said we talked about you got tried out for the Coast.
Right.
You didn't say nothing about like did it go good or did it go bad. I feel like you just kind of let it you did what you did, and if you don't make it, you don't make it.
Right.
Like it's not gonna weigh on you if you don't.
Right. That's because at the end of the day, man, I gotta understand that I don't have time to wait. You feel me? Like I don't have time to wait. I'm 25. You feel me? So like I'm still very young, but at the end of the day,
Prime for a run back.
Exactly. That's prime.
That's your prime.
So I don't have time to wait. Like I got time left to play ball, but I don't have time to wait just on hey, is he gonna give me a contract? Hey, is he gonna? So I don't have time for that. So I'm gonna go try to talk to these other teams that are reaching out to me versus me reaching out to you, and they are willing to pay for everything, trying to pay me a salary to play for them. So I'm gonna go there. So maybe when you look back at my resume, you may think twice and be like, hey, maybe we could get this guy a shot. But if you just sit back and don't do nothing, they not gonna come looking for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, man, you definitely got to be humble, because when you come home, that's home. So it's a lot of distractions.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of guys that went to school, they went off to school, came back, was in the same shoes as me, came back and got in a little bit of trouble. Yeah. They maybe got in the streets, ended up starting a family, and nothing knocking, families and nothing like that. But, bottom line is they just kind of got off track a little bit. And I pride myself on not getting off track. You know what I'm saying? I always had a strong, family background. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know your family.
I always had a strong background. My mama and my daddy's side, like it was always there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Side. So it's just like I had to do what I had to do what I had to do, and I looked at it like I didn't want to let them down. So whenever I look at people before I end up going overseas, before I end up going pro, like whenever I would look at people, even family members, and they would ask me, hey, what you doing, what's going on. When I was playing semi-pros looked down on. So whenever I was, and I'm not ashamed of it, but, I had to go through that route to get to where I am. So whenever I do talk to people that was like, hey, how's semi-pro, how's football, where you playing at, it would kind of hurt me to tell them, I'm home now, I'm a semi-pro, this and that. They kind of look down on it, but then whenever I signed my contract and then became officially a pro and then went overseas, that's when you could start seeing those guys those people who were looking down like, oh man, how you get over there, this and that. And then they don't understand that the route that I took, what I had to do. Semi-pro was never permanent. It was just, I guess you could say, just for the moment. You know what I'm saying? Semi-pro was just temporary. It was never one of the things that I just wanted to do for the rest of my life, because you do have young guys that do start off in semi-pro. Because when I first started playing semi-pro, I was 20. Yeah. 20, 21, something like that. So like most guys that stay young, they get they let them semi-pro coaches that they just want you to play for them so they can get some wins under their belt. And they in realization they really don't have connections like that. So you really just wasting your time, and not only are you wasting your time, but you putting your body on the line. Yes. And if I know a lot of guys, I know countless guys, and it just kind of make me shake my head when I think about it. I know guys, I got real cool with quite a bit of guys that play semi-pro. Some of them started, they much older than me, but some of them started when I was, around the age that I started at. Some of them even 18, fresh out of high school, ended up, getting hurt or something like that because of a dream, a false coach told them they went along with that dream, ended up getting hurt, and now they ain't got nothing to show for it. So now they stuck to stay in semi-pro. Now they can't, they got career-ending injuries. So now it's one of them things where it's like, I just shake my head, man. Like I just shake my head. I just shake my head. I don't even know why you would want to even sell a dream like that.
Because you sell them a dream. It's a business. It's all about business. Like Like the point is to get you to buy in. If you get somebody to buy in, then you can sell them. You can sell, sell them the world if that's the case.
But I just shake my head at that, man, because now this kid's young. You know what I'm saying? He got plenty of tread left on him. And he got a bright future, and then you sell him a wolf ticket, and then he buy it, and then he get hurt. Now you ain't nowhere to be found. So it's like when I looked at it, man, I just told myself, I'm glad I never got hurt, but I just told myself, man, whatever happens, it's gonna happen. But I'm not gonna do it, running behind no coach. So everything that I did, basically what I did, man, the teams that I researched the teams, and I had to do my research. The team for me, the coach or whoever I played for had to have a background. That's just what it was. Because if he didn't have a background, he could have been one of those guys that he abuses his authority because he didn't get that opportunity in high school. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or college or whatever. So you have to have that background. Not saying you have to go pro or nothing like that, but your team and you as a coach have to have a background.
Have some type of pedigree.
Exactly. Yeah. So I went and seeked out Chris Boykins, and shout out to Chris Boykins and Mama Boykins, but they ran a team called the Texas Lone Stars. Okay. And they found me, and they were just kind of like, hey, you should come over here. Chris Boykins, he played for the Colts for 5 years. Okay. So back when it was Peyton Manning, Dominique Rodgers, and all them, Edgerrin James, and so
James.
Yeah, he used to tell me about stories about that all the time. Yeah. But yeah, I went and found them, and once I found them, that was probably the best decision I could have ever made. You know what I'm saying? We used to do that. The team was organized, and you could tell from how things were ran. He was the CEO. But his mom was like co-CEO, I guess you could say. And she ran everything behind the scenes, from the money to the field to the uniforms to just everything dealing with business. It ran through mama first. And, and she really looked out for her players, man. She really did. Even, if you had off the field issues, she was there for you. Same with Boykins. And that team was more of it was a family-oriented type of team, man. And you could tell they didn't want you to stay there. If you chose to stay there, that's one thing, but you could tell that they wanted to push you off to the NFL, to CFL, arena, overseas, whatever it is, they wanted to get you to that point. So, that's what it was for me. So I played for him that first year, and then Coach Boykins, he wanted to take a back seat, not a back seat, but he just wanted to fall back from coaching and just be the owner of the team and help his mama run it. So he hired some new coaches for the second season. I played like half that season, ended up signing, and then I ended up stopping. And then that's what that was. So, yeah, man, it's just, yeah.
So basically the takeaway is work so hard that you're not waiting on a handout. You take a handout.
Exactly. You take one. You gotta, cause what people fail to realize is that you got these, athletes, great athletes that, were sought after in high school. Maybe were top 20 receivers, whatever. And then once they mess up in college, they come back and they think that it's the same way when you try to go to the next level. It's not like that. Right. Guys gotta understand that, ain't nobody finna come after high school. No, ain't nobody coming after you. If you not coming out, even if you played 4 years in college, bro. If you played 4 years in college and you not a top draft pick, like ain't nobody coming after you like that. Like you have to go out there and get it yourself. And that's what. And I took the route I took, but I feel like that. And part of the reason I left Mizzou was about 80% of it was me. You know what I'm saying? It was just me being cocky, to be honest. And I still say I don't blame the coach or none of that. It was just me being young, dumb, and hot-headed. And I had to learn from it, and I'm grateful that I went through that, and I had to go. I took classes at Lone Star. I know how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've never ever in my life took classes at a school and didn't play for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never done that. So to come back home and basically be grown and then go to school at Lone Star, taking classes. I got a regular job now on top of still training. Like to do that hurt. You know what I'm saying? It was some nights I cried, like, and I look back on it sometimes and still cry because now I'm not in that position. I'm in the position that I was working to get to and still working to get to where I really want to be. But I would cry some nights. You know what I'm saying? It was, nobody ever knew that. I would just be to myself, and I might just be thinking about it and cry. I may have to go to work and just be crying, and it's like, I ain't never cried that much in my life. But it was just a time in my life that I really had to stand up and, 10 toes down and just, keep doing what I'm doing, because if I folded, that was just going to show my family and, my friends that he was just another has-been. And that's not me, you know what I'm saying? Because I take pride on my daddy's side, on my mom's side at least. I'm the only one on my mom's side that ever signed a scholarship. On my daddy's side, I'm not. I'm just one of them, you know what I'm saying? But I take pride in that, you know what I'm saying? I really do take pride in that. And I feel like, I don't know, some people, you look up to me, I get that vibe from them, family members, friends, and I just feel like, I never put them on blast because I look up to certain people that's my age, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like they look up to me, and if they see I'm not doing nothing, then they might feel like, well, he ain't doing nothing. He may not have another role model. I had role models, but I didn't have role models that understood where I was coming from because they didn't take the route that I came from. Yeah. So when they came, most of the people that I know, when they came back from school, they just started working. They didn't want to play no more. Me, I always had that hunger out, that fire. I can't see myself working at this job for the next 20, 30 years. I see myself playing and getting something out of football and being able to start my own, company or my own business or whatever it is that I decided to do after football. That's what I see myself doing. And I knew, and even on top of that, like, just football in general, like you said, I'm big as it is what I look like asking to take your order, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know, man. I take pride in it, man. I really take pride in it.
I get where you come from, man. I feel like, when you make it, because I feel like we need more people like you in the league, like that's humble, that has this type of mentality, that appreciates what they're getting. Like, damn, these guys that get to the league, like the Johnny Manziels, that get there and they want to act the ass.
Right.
The people that go in there and don't appreciate what they do. So when you do make it, please don't forget about us. Let's put it that way. I mean, and you're more than welcome to come back on the show and talk about, like, hey, this is where I was. Now I'm here. Yeah. So we getting to the point where we about to wrap it up. Okay. But before we go, we have a reoccurring segment. I mean, it's only the second episode, but it's the second time we're doing this. And it's called Unpopular Opinion. Basically, you come in, we live in a world now where you gotta have this one mindset on something. Right. And if you don't, you're an outcast. Right. So people don't want to give out their unpopular opinions. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity. Right. And if you want, I can go first to give out an unpopular opinion that you got on anything. This could be football related. Mm-hmm. This could be about the entertainment industry. This could be about something on your regular day-to-day, that something that you think you may have an unpopular opinion about. Mm. It could be anything. Like I said, I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Well, mine is actually going to be a football-related one, and I have the numbers here to bring it to prove it. Okay. My personal unpopular opinion, and this is hard for me to say as a black man. Cam Newton, hell of an athlete, average at quarterback. Mm-hmm. And I had the numbers to prove it. All right, so, and this is quarterbacking, he's an athlete. He can run the ball. I know niggas love that. Like, oh, he can make a play. Yeah. I'm talking about throwing the football. Okay. Cam Newton, he ain't all that. Okay. Quarterback rating. This is from 2011 to 2017. He ranked in the league 15, 15, 16, 8, 27, 28, and 9. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know, but there's 32 teams in the league. Right. If you have 15, 16, you in the middle. Right. You average. He's not top 10 QB. Now we can go to his yards.
Mm-hmm.
He ranks 10th, 13th, 15th, 21st, 16th, 21st, 18th. Those are like those ain't numbers to me that seem like you would be top 10. We can look at his touchdowns.
Okay.
He ranks 11th, 21st, 12th, 19th, 2nd, which that was his MVP years when we went 2nd. That was 2015. 20th and 12th. This is each year from 2011 to 2017. So 11 in 2011, 12, 21st in 2012, 12 in 2013, so on and so forth.
Right.
Now, we can look at his completion percentage.
Yeah.
He ranks 16th, 7th, 16th, 29th, 28th, which was his MVP year. He ranked 28th in completion percentage, 30th, and 28th.
Right.
Cam Newton is not. He's average. I'm not saying he's trash. Mm-hmm. These numbers might say he's trash, cause some of these numbers is low.
Right.
Some of these numbers might say he's garbage, but I'm gonna say he's average, cause I have seen him make some plays. I wish I would have wrote down his team's records from 11 to 2017, but their records weren't all that great.
What?
He's had a few winning seasons. He's also had some losing seasons.
Right.
Cam Newton ain't all that, bro.
Well, see, with Cam Newton, man, you gonna get what's the word? It's only so much you can do. You know what I'm saying? Cam Newton is just now. I think when they went to the Super Bowl, they could have had some more pieces, but I think that's when they had their best team.
That was their best shot, yeah.
But at the end of the day, you get. I mean, you just gonna get what you get. Cam Newton is a dual threat type of quarterback, so you're not gonna see these amazing passing yardages or amazing passing yards touchdowns from him.
What about the percentages though?
I mean, think about his percentages. Most of Cam Newton passes are like screen passes, dump passes.
Well, if they're dinking dunk, that means your percentage should be super high.
It should, but remember when I was saying earlier, once the defenses start catching on to that,
right?
It's just it's not too much you can do. And with him being a dual threat quarterback, his first mindset, okay, scan the field. He has a clock in his head. Every quarterback has a clock in their head. So when you think about scan the field.
We got an appearance from Bailey. Hey Bailey, how you doing? Good to see you.
So when you think about scan the field, he has a clock in his head. So as soon as that clock goes off in his head, run.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it is. That's the clock that he has in his head. So he's not gonna have that same clock in his head that I keep saying clock in his head, but he's not gonna have that same mentality that Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or Drew Brees would have, because they're not dual threat quarterbacks. Right. So regardless of what happens, if a play breaks down, they're not gonna run. If anything, they'll throw it away. Cam Newton, he's trying to make a play with his legs, or he's trying to find someone someone down the field or somewhere near him that he can just dump the ball to. But most part, his first mentality, you can say, is run. But
it's probably been like that since he was in high school.
Exactly.
But see, that's not quarterbacking. Quarterbacking is throwing the ball. I mean, of course, being able to extend the play is always a plus, like, because that's what they give Aaron Rodgers. Right. His big thing is he can throw, but he also can extend the play.
That's true.
But
Aaron Rodgers is one of a kind. Who? How many are there? Like, you have different types of quarterbacks. Like, how many Aaron Rodgers are there in the league? How many Cam Newtons are there in the league? Yeah. It's not very many.
But we've seen Cam Newton many a times before when it comes to a quarterback that can run.